I just realised we started the video with your presentation on the screen, so our heads are going to be little. But it's all right. I'll zoom in. It'll be all pixelated, which is probably the best way to view me. Hi, it's Ed. I'm here with Nils Rooijmans from the Netherlands, scripting guru. If you don't know him, he lives on a houseboat, Amsterdam.
That's it.
And he's here today to share his 21 must-have scripts. Well, 8 of them. It's a bit of a tease, but this is going to be a powerhouse of a presentation, how to avoid ruin in your Google Ads account by automating away loads of the stuff that you don't want to do. And I said that really quickly. There are other things that I know about Nils because I've read his website. So he's currently skiing in the Alps. He loves skiing. And he also likes making sweet music with people, which where I come from means a different thing.
I used to be a DJ as a profession, but that was like 20 years ago. Currently, it's just me as in, playing some records at the houseboat. Sometimes a little party. So it's more like a hobby now. Not professional
a little
anymore.
Party, scripting party. Yeah, and living on a houseboat makes you sound unusual. In the Netherlands, it's quite a traditional thing. A lot of people do it, don't they?
Amsterdam is the city that has the most houseboats, currently roughly 3,000. So it's not that uncommon. The thing with a houseboat is that even if you live in a city like Amsterdam, it gives you a sense of freedom. You don't have any neighbors, so you can play the records. And it gives you the idea that you sort of have like, your own little space in a very busy city. So it's amazing. I love it.
Love it. 3,000, plenty. Well, with that intro out of the way, incredibly professional. Shall we crack on? I say we.
Let's do it.
You're doing all the heavy lifting. Oh yeah, stick around to the end because Nils has got a little bit of a promo for you. If you can put up with us for however long this lasts.
Let's see where it takes us. Right. So basically, the idea for the 21 must-have scripts for each and every account came from a question I asked to the subscribers of my newsletter. What is your biggest challenge right now when it comes to Google Ads scripts? And the answer I get most of the times is, well, there are so many scripts out there. Which ones should I be using? So basically, give me the best scripts so that I myself do not have to go through all these hundreds, even thousands of scripts out there on the internet. So basically, that's what I'm trying to solve. And today I'm going to share 8 of the 21 scripts that will get you immediate results for free. So here's a question for you, Ad. If you start a new Google Ads campaign, search campaign for text ads, what are the campaign settings that you would immediately disable in your campaigns?
I think there's a big clue on the screen. Search partners and display network. I'd go pure virgin search.
Yeah, you're not alone. I think I've never spoken to any PPC professional that does not disable the display network on search campaigns. However, the default setting from Google is they simply enable it. And if you have juniors in your team or you've had too much drinks yesterday, it might very well be that you forgot to disable this setting. So what I like to do is run a script, the Google Display Network enabled alert, that simply checks all the enabled search campaigns in my accounts, the client's accounts, and send me an alert if one of the campaigns has this setting enabled. Basically, you can go in and uncheck this checkbox. Another script that is also in the ebook with the 21 scripts is a script that I use to monitor the performance of the search partners. So as you can see on this slide, you can also include Google search partners in your campaign. I like to start off, just like you, Ed, with both settings disabled. And then when the campaign has matured and I feel a certain plateau has been reached, I like to test the search partner network by simply enabling it, and then run my search partner performance alert script that basically monitors the performance of the search partner network and compares it to the Google network. So basically the Google search results compared to the search partner network. And if there is a significant difference between the cost per acquisition or the return on ad spend between the search partners and the default search network, the script sends an alert. So that way you can basically start testing the search partner network without worrying that it will drag down the performance.
Yeah, I like the search partner one. So you essentially could be quite lazy. Just turn it on once you're ready to do so, and then let the script tell you when it's underperforming.
Exactly. Yeah, so basically it will send an alert through email with a link to a Google Sheet, and the Google Sheet will have information like this, where you can basically see the difference in this case, the return on ad spend between the Google network and the search partners, where the search partner has, I think the number is, so 43% difference, as in a lower return on ad spend. So you might want to disable the search partner network for this campaign. Another very famous script I always recommend to each and every Google Ads advertiser is the broken link checker from Google. Google hosts a small set of scripts that they've developed to help us. High quality scripts. This one is also one that I think has high value. You don't want to send traffic to broken links. So basically this script checks all the links in your Google Ads account and then basically tells you if one is broken.
I don't know how Google sets the period for checking this, but it's really hit or miss. So if you need to run the script because it doesn't check everything all the time. It's really weird. And you can actually have and I know this from an unfortunate circumstance a long time ago, we had a broken page and it spent for a week before we got an actual official Google alert to say, oh, you've got a broken link.
Exactly.
So I don't think they just don't check very often, even though they could.
Yeah, that's a great addition. Yeah, because Google does check it. Also, sometimes your ads get disapproved because you know the link is broken, but it's a very slow process. Google still makes money even though they send traffic to broken links. So they're not really in a hurry to tell you that the link is broken. And to be fair to them, very often links are broken for just a few hours and then they get fixed. So Google doesn't want to bother you too much with that, I guess. But me as a PPC professional, I like to be in the know immediately when something is broken. So that's why I run the script. But there's a major downside to the Google version. The version from Google only checks search campaigns. So not performance max campaigns, not video campaigns, not shopping campaigns, not demand gen campaigns. So I've created a different version of this script myself that I like to use in my MCC manager account that checks all the links that have had a significant amount of clicks during the last hours or last days from each and every campaign type. And if one of these gets broken, then I receive an alert. Basically, again, the alert is sent through the email, and then you get a link to a Google Sheet where you can find all the details of the alert. We already touched upon the disapproved ads alert. Unfortunately, ads get disapproved for numerous of reasons. I think it was last week that Google tried to explain a bit more about the review process. So basically, the AI and humans that are reviewing our ads and disapproving them all the time and how it works. Not too much detail, unfortunately, but please do know that the AI has a lot of false positives, meaning that they disapprove your ads for faulty reasons, and you have to manually apply for a review so that the human can fix the error of Google's AI and re-enable your disapproved ad. Again, you want to be in the know immediately, especially if that happened to one of the ads that generate a lot of clicks and conversions. That's why I like to run this script so that you will be in the know immediately when this happens. Same as with the broken link checker, I like to run this script in my manager account and get these kinds of alerts. Hopefully not too many. Is this something that you see very often, that your ads get disapproved for faulty reasons?
Yeah, it's weird. Like ad disapprovals can just come out of nowhere. You can have a campaign that's been running for months, and then all of a sudden you get disapproval. So I don't know how that comes about, because an ad can get through and run and then get disapproved. Now, obviously, there are retrospective policy changes, and that can actually impact an existing advert. They're a bit more rare. These are more of an issue in certain niches like medical and nutrition and anything around that, a bit edge case. We didn't work in too many of those, so we didn't have that many issues. But yeah, a disapproved set of ads can really ruin your day. Again, like things that have haunted me, e-com accounts in Q4 where you've got a load of ads disapproved for whatever reason, and the AI or the automated checking system it's incorrectly flagged, and then you have to wait for support who are, let's face it, the human support are they're a bit, aren't they? A bit slow, but they're probably overwhelmed, because if you've got 1 million bots and then 10 dudes and dudettes somewhere doing it manually, I can understand why they're probably a bit overwhelmed. So that's another thing. When you do request a review of your advert, actually do check your advert and the policy. Don't just click, request a review, because you're going to slow the process down if there is a fault with your advert. And I know a lot of people are impatient; they just like review it without actually checking it themselves. So Yeah, because you're just adding another weight because it can be rejected again. So do actually
Exactly.
check what the problem is.
Yeah, because it's a very good point, because if they notice that you have not changed anything, but simply ask for the appealed and ask for the new review, they will simply double the response time next time you're
And
requesting
it's the easiest thing for someone to do. Think about a human. It's like they can see the change log. They can see that you've done nothing. They're
Right.
just going to be like, reject it, go away, kind of thing. So yeah,
Good point.
at least try.
So next to the disapproved ads, you mentioned e-commerce. In e-commerce, you have a product feed that you want to advertise the products, but very often products that have gotten a lot of clicks and conversion also get disapproved for numerous reasons. So I've not listed this script in this presentation, but inside the ebook, I'm also promoting the disapproved products alert script, which basically is similar to the disapproved ad script, but focusing on the products. So if you zoom out, these are just some of the concrete examples of how you can use scripts to monitor basically the setup of your Google Ads account. But in the end, what really matters is, does it make a difference for the performance, right? So you would like to have sort of like a second pair of eyes that monitors the overall performance of the account. And if anything goes wrong, you will be notified. And again, Google has created a script itself, the account anomaly detector, which is pretty decent in detecting huge variations in your KPIs like impressions, clicks, conversions. And I always recommend installing this script, because if something dramatically changes in your account, you will be immediately in the know and you can take action, right? So if anyone in your team makes a huge mistake, for instance, pausing the campaign that is responsible for 40% of your clicks without you noticing, then a script like this will make sure that within a few hours you will know the difference. You know that there is a significant difference in the performance, and you have to dive in yourself to fix the issue or delegate it to someone in your team. You have a dashboard. It's a Google Sheet where you can basically indicate all the thresholds. So for instance, if you have a Google Ads campaign that has a relatively low number of impressions and clicks with high fluctuations, you can decrease the percentages that you see here to make sure that you do not get a lot of false positives. I think it's a great script. I've made many changes so that for me, it generates only the alerts that really matter. So for instance, I've eliminated the hours between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. so that fluctuations during these hours don't generate a lot of false alerts. But the basic version already is a high value. And if you play with the numbers, I'm pretty sure you will get a lot of value from it.
It's an OG script as well, because on that screenshot, it still has AdWords in the top right, powered by AdWords scripts. It's an OG script.
It is. I think it's back from 2014 or 15.
I know it's one of the very early scripts we were using, me in particular. You do have to tweak maybe this is something to use AI to do. The impressions too low and clicks too low, these percentages. I think it'd be nicer if you could do it as percentiles. It's the top percentile out or bottom percentile instead of just a fixed percentage. But that would require a bit of jiggery pokery. But I wonder if AI could do it.
That's a great idea for our next video, by the way. We could do it together using Claude or ChatGPT and get this idea.
Can AI enhance our scripts reliably? Yeah, this is why Nils is addicted to scripts, because once you start, there's always well, it can do this, can it do that? And it's a bit like crack. If you've ever tried it, wonderful. It's a joke, just in case anyone's listening. Don't do drugs, bad for you. Anyway, moving on.
No, it's good, because you're absolutely right. Once you get started with scripts, there are so many ideas that simply pop up in your mind about all these boring PPC tasks that you can automate. It's just ridiculous. Like for instance, who likes sifting through the search query reports to find negative keyword candidates? No one, right? I mean, in all fairness, sometimes I do like it, especially if I onboard a client in a niche that I'm not familiar with. I want to be surprised by both by the Google's matching algorithm, the keyword match types, and what user queries are being matched to my keywords, but also how people are searching for what types of things. It's the world is full of surprises, and the search query report is is an interesting sneak peek in
Yeah, it's
interesting parts of our lives.
curiosity factor, isn't it, of a new working with a new client and so on. But I think you soon tire. Month one, I think you soon tire of looking at the reports. So
exactly. So that's where this script comes in. The negative keyword suggestions, and basically what it does, it monitors all the search terms in your Google Ads account. And once a search term has met a certain threshold, number of clicks, and didn't show any conversions, it simply gets reported in a Google Sheet. And then, of course, again, you will get an email with a link to the Google Sheet. And then you can simply go into the sheet. And in the free version, you will simply get a list of all the negative keyword suggestions, and you would still have to add them manually. I also have a paid version of the scripts that allows you to simply use the Google Sheet to manage your negative keywords. So for each negative keyword suggestion, you can basically indicate whether you want to add it as a negative keyword or not. And if you want to add it, do you want to add it at the campaign level, the ad group level, or a negative keyword list? And you can also decide on the match type. So I love this script for managing my accounts and my team, because my team members simply get a link to a Google Sheet every Monday morning that has the negative keyword suggestions for the account they are managing. And they can simply go into the sheet and simply decide on each and every search term suggestion whether or not to add it as a negative, without even having to go to the Google Ads interface, which is really sluggy, as we know. So this is a very effective way to monitor search terms and add negative keywords to your account. Another one that has surprised a lot of my followers is my trending search term script. As we all know, match types change, user searcher behavior changes, your campaign setup changes, all sorts of changes that allow different search terms to basically be matched to your keywords and your products, right? Sometimes there's a lot of information in these trending search terms that you can use to optimize your account or inform your client or inform your SEO colleagues to make use of the opportunities. So like, for instance, seasonality things, right? Currently I'm in the Alps. It's it's almost spring, but luckily we still have snow. It's relatively cold here. So people are searching for products that, literally warm them up. A heated mouse mat. It's something that one of my clients is selling. It's selling really well here right now because people feel they need warmer hands. But that was trending. So this script basically noticed the fact that this product, as in the searches for this product, were trending. And before I notified my client, there was only one product in stock. So he only had one variation of the product. Based on these trending search terms, he decided to add different variations of the product from different brands to his inventory, and they're selling great. So that is a nice example of how I use it.
It's so good that we have that facility built into Ad Evolver as well, because I love getting alerts to be told what's a new search term, and what's trending, what's changed. This has appeared, and you're like, what? Where's that come from? And it was a few years ago. We had one. I can't name the client, but essentially another brand came up on their brand search term because they are in a clothing industry where the names are kind of similar, because they have the name of the product in their names, both of them. Anyway,
great example.
It burned through a shed load of spend, and it didn't convert very well. And it would have been so easy to miss, but it was just great to see that in that 1 week, for whatever reason, the algorithm decided and changed, and the brand performance was down. And like, everyone's like, what's going on? This feature, this script, and this feature we got in Ad Evolver as well, identified it. It's literally sat there in the report. It's like, bugger. And yeah, you can spot these things by hand, but this is about speeding the process up and helping you not miss things. And a lot of these scripts, I mean, they are sort of admin focused in a way, and that might not be super sexy, but at the end of the day, admin gets in the way. Like, if you've got to faff around with broken links and broken ads and stuff like that, you can waste so much time, especially if it happens on multiple accounts. So a lot of scripts are about saving your backside as well, and not just about the optimization. It's about the promise of the saved time, just knowing that these are running for you. Anyway, sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a peace of mind that they generate. For me, I run a remote PPC agency with clients and people working with me and my team on all parts of the world. And as you know, people are people, they make mistakes, but I do not want my clients to notice any of the mistakes before I do. Basically, my script setup helps me detect any issues in the accounts before my clients do, which gives me a lot of peace of mind, so I can literally sleep well and go skiing.
Yeah.
It's a great use case.
That's golden. Yeah.
Then the last script for today, which is also very helpful for me, is the change history alerts. How many times have you had a client that has been making changes himself or herself in an account you are managing?
So in the early years, because I've been running an agency for 15, I'd say in the first 7 years is what I call my early years. It happened a fair few times, but once I got confident enough and big enough, I fired clients that changed stuff simply because they would fuck things up. And Google would go in and change stuff, or they'd have a phone call. Actually, our clients are very well trained. They don't speak to Google.
Right.
Sorry, Google. But yeah, the obvious one is display network being enabled and search partners and things like that, where you get a recommendation. They're like, click, yeah, I'll do that.
Yep.
Sounds good. I can get a bigger, we can get a bigger reach with more conversions. Enable display. Yeah, not
very
not
helpful.
ideal.
No. So yeah, again, that's why I created the script. It basically monitors this change history. And if there are any changes that have been made by someone outside of my team, I immediately get an email with a link to a Google Sheet where the changes have been listed so that I know what happened. This also applies to Google's automatically applied recommendations. For instance, one of the latest is the pause due to low volume. Google basically decided they are going to pause all the keywords that have had a low search volume in the last 12 months. But sometimes you just don't want that hidden from you because they basically do it and you wouldn't notice if you're not running the script.
Is it over the past 12 months? Does it not take into account recency or seasonality? I don't think it does. I think it's like really arbitrary and just goes off.
Yeah, so I've seen it pausing keywords that have had a significant number of impressions 13 months ago, but lower impressions in, let's say, the last 12 months. But sometimes, you just don't want to pause them because seasonality it might change, right? So for instance, a certain, like for instance, the example of the Catholic the party in the Netherlands, in the southern parts, that's Carnaval.
Did you
it's
say
not on the same date?
Did you say cat liquor, or did I misheard?
I think you misheard. What is that? A cat liquor? I haven't heard of that. I don't even know the word.
I don't. We should probably. I must have. I think it broke up and it sounded like cat liquor. So
let's got.
Well, I'm going to leave it in just in case someone searches for it. You never know, might get some impressions. But yeah, going back to the seasonality, low impression keywords. Yeah, they can be a pain in the arse because they can mess an account up, as in they just make busy work. But if they've been converting periodically, seasonally, you don't really want Google stepping in to say, oh, I'm going to pause that off. And you're literally waiting for the, I don't know, autumn to kick in because you sell stuff that's appropriate in autumn. I'm trying to think, I don't know, right. Walking trousers. Yeah, so the auto-applied stuff is annoying. Your script catches it.
Again, I like to use it on an MCC level. You will get a link to a Google Sheet that lists all the changes that have been made by someone outside of your team, for instance, your client, or maybe even a competitor, PPC professional that has gotten access in one sick way and is making changes. But yeah, so I always like to be in the know immediately. Yeah, so these are 8 examples of the 21s that are in my ebook. GTA audience, you get 80% discount on the book. It's very cheap. Just go get it.
GTA, for someone watching who doesn't know what that is, it's God tier ads. It's not Grand Theft Auto, although it can be both. Depends on the target audience. Yeah, so what have you got a list of the other scripts that are in this?
Good question. And yes, I do. The thing is, if I share all the 20, part of the value of this ebook is there. Let's say there's 1,000 free scripts out there. I've curated the ones that are the best and make it the biggest impact. So the value of the ebook is in the curation part.
He angled your carrot and we've given it a nibble. No, I get that. And someone who's got the experience can curate the information to give you the right answers is the value of things like you and I producing this stuff and God Terrans and so on, because all the information is out there for free. But if you don't know the right questions to ask, then you could get yourself into a right pickle. And it's all well and good someone super experienced going, oh, you can get all the information for free. It's like, yeah, but you've got to know what's good and what's bad. And if you haven't got the experience, you can't do that.
Yeah, basically, we're also saving the professionals that can do it a lot of time, right? I mean, there's a lot of PPC professionals that, you know, they could go in and decide on the scripts that are of most value to their accounts or their agency, but basically we're saving them a lot of time in providing them with the lists. So.
Yeah, because you've literally been skiing for 4 weeks and you're running an agency with, I mean, how many clients you've got roughly?
Currently it's 21.
21 clients. You've got a small team, haven't you? And you've automated a great swathe of the work through scripting that enables you to travel around, speak on stage, ski when you like. So it's working. It saves you a lot of time.
It saves me a lot of time, especially also in managing the team. So the overhead that comes with managing the PPC professionals. And yeah, like I mentioned, the peace of mind is a very important aspect of it, because to be honest, I think 90% of the scripts that I run do not make any changes in the account. They simply monitor, analyze, and recommend. That's basically what they're doing. Alert scripts for the big mistakes. I've got the monitoring scripts to signify trends and opportunities. And then I've got what I call the suggestions, like for instance, the negative keyword suggestions that are fed into my team members so that they can act upon the suggestion. But I rarely have a script that, like for instance, 100% automates all the negative keywords in the account. That's not it.
Yeah, and I think this is important because my perception is that a lot of people think scripting is going to do the work. But I think our philosophy is very similar. You get the account up to such a standard that you are just nudging it into the right direction. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel every week, optimize constantly and tweak and spend all your week trying to find 1% gains. So scripting is more about helping you maintain your positive direction and take course corrections when something goes awry. So, and I think that's an important point. Now, do you think, to put you on the spot a bit about this, do you think that scripts combined with AI in the future, the near future maybe, will empower scripting to make more changes?
It's already happening. So I use, just for your information, I use different large language models to help me create the scripts, where I in the past would, out-task it to junior JavaScript developers, or I would write it myself. Currently, I write it with the help of the LLMs. But I also use LLMs as part of the scripts. So for instance, for keyword research, what I do is I have a script running that monitors all the converting search terms from last month. I feed it to an LLM, and I ask it to come up with new keyword suggestions that are not already enabled in my account.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a huge surprise what it comes up with. So that is one example of how I use an AI in my script. And then the third is I literally use the AI to come up with ideas how I can create scripts that use the API of the AI to improve my results. So basically, idea generation for scripts can be outsourced to the LLM, which I thought was my job, right? I'm the scripting guy. I come up with good script ideas.
But you still, 90% of your scripts are essentially reporting and analyzing, and only 10% are making changes or close to changes. So we're still not in this place where AI is stepping in and making lots of changes. We're not there yet, but it's building. Like I've just shared, Cuda from GodTerrans shared 2 weeks ago before this video, the ad copywriting script. And it's a improving agent. So it reviews its own prompt. So we give it a prompt. Well, you get a prompt when you use the script, and then it improves it and gives you improved responsive search ads based on the prompt that it's improved. It's really cool. But the next level is to then go out to the search engine, look at the other advertisers, look at their landing pages and their offers, and assess all that, and then come back and update the prompt. and just do that on autopilot via AI and scripting.
Right.
Which means, in theory, if the AI is good enough, you should never have to write an ad for your client ever again, which is pretty significant. I don't know if it'll get there, but it will eventually.
Well, it depends on the type of ad copy that you're looking for, right? So I think if you're happy with, let's say, a very basic level of ad copy, it's already there. You can already do it. The AI can already generate it. Especially if you have multiple AIs, sort of like correcting each other's output, you will get amazing results. And I will guarantee you it will be better than media PPC specialists, maybe even senior ones. But if you want ad copy that is just, like for instance, in AI, will it come up with the slogan, just do it? It might, but is it as good, right? That is something that currently you can still make a difference as a human, but you have to be a very good marketer.
Definitely. And there is, if you use ChatGPT to do any kind of copy for landing pages or adverts, you can, well, I can sense a pattern or a style. It's very much, it feels like ChatGPT now, the output. So I've been trying other things, and I do a little bit of creative writing for some hobbies and stuff because I'm a nerd, and I use ChatGPT quite a bit and Gemini on my phone. But they have a certain style about them, and it's interesting to see it. So you're right. We can still make an impact on that because you can look at that and go, actually, there's a bit of creative input I can have here. It's done 90% of the work for me. It's done all the heavy lifting. I can literally take that work, thank you very much, call it my own with a little bit of polish on it. So
we're not out of jobs yet. Definitely not.
Not yet. Is there any, putting you on the spot again, is there any other scripts that you, oh no, because they might be in your list, so you can't say, can you? But okay, is there any AI enabled scripts in your ebook?
No.
Okay.
I might add one, especially for the God tier ads audience as a bonus, but yeah. So currently, also, again, it's also a thing that I'm still experimenting with, as in, I have a lot of ideas on how I would like to use AI inside the scripts. One of the ideas I'm currently working on, what might interest you, is that regarding the negative keyword management, it's crazy, right? Because if we go through all these search queries, there is a pattern in the negatives that we add to the negative keyword list or to the account, right? But that pattern, the Google Ads platform doesn't recognize the pattern. We as humans, we understand it. But for an AI, it should be relatively easy to learn it. So basically what I'm trying to do is feed the feedback on the negative keyword suggestions back into an AI so that it basically learns from me and my team what types of search terms should be suggested as a negative keyword candidate. So for instance, if it suggests pink laptop and we don't sell pink laptops, and it suggests pink mouse, and we do not sell pink mouse, there's a pattern there. Hopefully it will recognize the fact that, even though this search term that contains the word pink does not have that much impressions or clicks, I'm going to suggest it anyway, because apparently you're not selling anything that has the color pink.
This is where a little bit of my cynicism. The Google Ads platform, why is it not as good as the AIs, the LLMs, these pattern recognitions on these word sets, essentially? Like even Gemini can spot the pattern in a search term report, but Google Ads itself doesn't. And what I mean by that is Google's not adding negatives, but I mean in terms of the targeting, as in showing your keyword for these search terms that just don't seem right. And
the answer is easy, and I think you already know. The answer is called capitalism.
A lack of efficiency. So they don't want to be super efficient because they make less money. Exactly. So it's such a weird. This is the weird thing about match types and them relaxing matching, because they don't want to be efficient because it makes them less money.
Right. So there's I think there is a certain range where they're trying to find the optimum, as in they already know that some advertisers will step out of the game because they're losing money.
Yep.
But if it's a small advertiser, they don't worry about it if they're making up that amount of money with the bigger ones.
Yeah,
So
I
that,
think
yeah,
the auction, yeah, I did a video on this years ago. The auction cherry picks to suit the environment that it's in, and that means if someone's bidding hard enough, it will take those bids. Yeah, it's wow to actually have the to be able to lift the veil and look at how Google operates at this level would be, I think, incredible, but also probably end of days if we ever got to see inside the black box. It's probably just a troll, just one troll sat there going with his finger up at everyone.
yeah, I wouldn't count on it. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Nils for sharing those 8 scripts. So that's 8 out of 21 in your ebook. Ebooks are still cool. It's 2025. Got to get yourself an ebook. We've all got ebooks. If you haven't got one, you're no longer trendy. So I'll leave a link somewhere around here. You can grab Nils's 21 must-have scripts. So cut out the noise. Thousands of bloody scripts. These are the 21 you need. It's super cheap. I think it's like not a lot, is it, Nils?
2 beers for the Quad-Tier audience.
2 beers. If you drink beers, 2 beers. What's that in coffee now? It's probably 1 coffee, the price of coffee. So it's a coffee or 2 for God Tier Ads customers. Anyone else watching this, if you're not a God Tier Ads customer, don't worry. I'm sure you can buy it. Just pay a little bit extra. Maybe 5 beers or 17 coffees. So yeah, click the link. Grab Nils's 21 must-have script. Right. Thank you, Nils. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for also contributing to God Tier Ads over the years. Nils has been uploading scripts. I should have said that at the start as well. I did a really crap intro, but that's me to a T. I don't even intro myself very well. So yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your contributions to the industry, to God Tier Ads. Send him a beer or 2. Go and grab his ebook.
Cool. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. And I love the community. So I'll see you in God Tier Ads.
And break a leg skiing, but don't actually break a leg skiing.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun. Today is amazing. Fresh powder snow and sunshine.
Enjoy.